Hi guys, my name's Adam. Today I'm going to be bringing you a deck profile of my Nordics. Quick little thing, all the Nordic gods have an effect where you can banish their equivalent tuner to special summon them from the graveyard if they were destroyed that turn. So I'm going to start with the main deck though. So to complement that, I've got 3 Valkyrie of the Nordic Ascendant.
Rarity game.
Indeed, rarity game. It's the best tuner for Nordic Ascendants. If she is the only card you control and your opponent controls a monster, you can banish 2 Nordics from your hand, special 2 level 4 tokens, 2 plus the 2 level 4 tokens equals level 10, and there is Odin right off the bat. It seems like a hefty cost, but especially in today's game, you need to be able to get the players out very quick. So that's Valkyrie. The other Nordic Ascendant I play is Veneris. Veneris actually works as any Nordic tuner, whether or not it's the Nordic Beast, Nordic Ascendant, or Nordic Alpha. You can also send Nordic tuner from deck to grave, and her level becomes the equivalent of that level. So useful all-rounder. Next up, the other tuners we run are 3 Guldafax of the Nordic Beasts. As I say, basic level 4 tuner. Its effect is pretty much irrelevant, but this is the one that you'll be using to go into Thor. And final Nordic tuner is Svartalf of the Nordic Alpha. Level 5, which people tell me is weird because you've got to normal summon it. But you actually don't. There's a card that allows you to do this very easily without having to waste normal summon or tribute summon. And obviously this one's used to bring out Loki. So that's all the tuners. Moving on to the rest of the support. I'll just do these together. We've got 2 of the white goat and 2 of the black goat. I can't pronounce them. Tang Josning, Tang Gleesner, I think. The white one, when it's destroyed by battle, special summon 2 level 3 tokens. And the black one, if a monster is destroyed on your side of the field, you can special summon it. And if it's changed from defense to attack, you get a special summon a Nordic Beast. So the idea being you have this on the field, it gets destroyed, special summon this in defense. Next turn, change this to attack position, special summon out the Guldafax. You'll have your level 4 Guldafax, 2 level 3s, one being this and the other being the token. You can make Thor. So that's those 2. In terms of the rest of the Nordic support stuff, 3 yourself. You can target another monster you control and normal summon another Nordic whose level is equal to or less than that monster's. It just helps you to get out more monsters onto the field, or including your tuners, and make single players a lot easier. Level 4, it's really good for Odin, but it can also be useful for some of the other monsters as well if you're using Veneris. The next one is Garm, level 4, 1900 defense, pretty nice for a level 4 normal set. Unfortunately, it only bounces level 4 lower monsters back in the hand when they battle it, but it's good enough, and you rarely use the effect. The main reason I use it is level 4 for synchros, and also it just helps increase my Nordic count for the Valkyrie effect of vanishing. 1 tier of the Nordic champions. This is simply just to increase the Nordic count again. I'd probably actually swap him out for something else, but at the minute I'm not 100% sure what. But he's nice to have. 90% of the time he just gets banished with Valkyrie. So onto the external support, we have 2 cheap. This is the card I was saying about Svartalf. When it's flipped, you can special summon 1 level 5 higher tuner monster from your deck. So the idea is you set this, it gets flipped, you summon Svartalf, normal summon a level 4, 1, 5 and 4 is 10 for Loki. Also we've got Fleckbounder, just a nice level 4, just hold your opponent at bay because they're going to take more damage than you do if they attack it. 1 Kelbeck, bounces anything that battles it back to the hand. Unfortunately, it has to be attacked. It's not like Grand Mole. I should actually probably swap this out for a Grand Mole because Grand Mole can bounce anything even if you attack. And Honest, simply because you run enough light monsters in the deck and it's useful. I run the 1 Mage Power simply because there is quite a bit of back row in this. So you've got all these set cards. Mage Power can obviously boost them up. Not the best choice, but it did the job. This deck's about a year old now. I should probably update it. But one sword's revealing light just to keep your opponent's attacks at bay. You all know what it is. 3 standby phases, not able to attack. One lightning vortex. It actually just helps to get the tuners into the graveyard. Because when they're in the graveyard, if your Azir monsters, which are the big Nordic gods, if they get killed, obviously you can banish them to bring them back and get an extra effect. MST for back row removal. I should probably swap this with Twin Twisters, but I don't have one. Nordic Lights helps you to delay till you get to your Nordic gods, because it is, it stops your Nordic monsters from being destroyed by battle. So you can just basically activate this and sit on a Nordic monster for as long as you like to. You've got the resources you need. Moving on to the traps. This is one that is essential and it annoys me. This is Gleitner, Fetters of the Fenrir, which is your Nordic searcher. This is your themed searcher. Set list, activate it, add 1 Nordic from deck to hand, and it annoys me because it's a trap. Reinforcements of the army is a generic searcher and even it's a spell. It's just, this is a piss, but if you want to play it as pure as you can, you need to run 3 of this. Then, in terms of other external support, we have 1 Tiki Soul and 1 Tiki Curse. They both summon themselves to level 4. Originally this was Odin Turbo, so these 2 plus Valkyrie, plus Valkyrie would equal level 10 for Odin. Dimension Wall, just make your opponent take as much damage as possible by basically throwing their stuff back at them. Draining Shield, obviously I want to gain life points, I want to be able to keep myself in the game for as long as possible. Mirror Force, basically a mass board cleavance for if they attack. It's pretty simple. Nordic Leviathan, I like this one because it, you'd get a targeted monster that destroyed another monster by battle this turn, and if you do, you get a destroyed monster that destroyed the monster, but your opponent can't actually respond to this, which is why I like it. So it's like they attack you and you're going to punish them back for it, and they literally can do nothing about it. And finally, 1 breakthrough skill, just to try and keep it, keep monster effects at bay. It's also got some decent utility in the graveyard as well, so I'm banish it during my turn to keep negating. So that's all of the main deck done. Quick move on to the extra deck. Obviously with 2 tokens, most important cards of that, joke. No. So 2 Odin for starters. He has an effect where you can activate it. He becomes unaffected by other card effects until the end of the turn. Unfortunately, it is already during your turn, but if he gets destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can banish a Nordic Ascendant Tuner during the end phase and special summon him back and draw a card. So that's pretty useful. Thor, Lordiasia, he's the one who's used with Golifax, with the 2 goats. That's your basic play for him. He has an effect to negate all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of the turn. And his effect is you banish the Nordic Beast Tuner to bring him back, and you deal 800 damage to your opponent. It's a small burn, but at the end of the day, you're still getting a 3500 beat stick on board. The final one of the gods is Loki. This one is the one with Zartalf. Same effect, banish the Nordic Alpha Tuner from your graveyard to summon him back in the end phase if he's destroyed. And he allows you to recycle a trap from your graveyard to your hand. So, you could add back, for example, a Gleipnir, and then set the Gleipnir, which then allows you to do more searching later on. That's all the Nordic gods in terms of synchros.
So, with you saying that this was an Odin turbo deck, do you still find yourself going into Odin more than the other gods?
Yeah, I definitely do, simply because he's the most powerful. In terms of effects, I find that the graveyard effect, the extra draw, is the better of the 3. And also I have the easiest access to it in terms of Valkyrie, because obviously Valkyrie banished to 2 tokens. It's a I say it's a 1 card play, it's a 3 card play, but it's still the easiest to get to. And also most of other monsters in the deck are level 4, so level 4 plus Valkyrie, and also you've got Veneris, which is also a Nordic Ascendant Tuner. So if you normal summon Veneris, use its effect to send Valkyrie and make it level 2, and then sync with that, you've now got 2 Nordic Ascendants in your grave to banish. So I find myself going to Odin a lot more often. Probably Loki second, because obviously negating the spells and traps during the battle phase, which I think I forgot to mention. But negating the spells and traps during the battle phase is really useful. And I find myself going into Ford at least, because rarely do you actually need to negate your opponent's effects on your turn. It's always on their turn that you need to, hence the breakthrough skill. But yeah, so that's that. In terms of non-Nordic God synchros, I've only got the one, the HCS Simuth, just level 6, and it's just for, you can, obviously you've got Svartalf and the cheap play, which is level 6. You've got Valkyrie and any of the level 4s. Venedis can send a Valkyrie, make a level 2, plus all the level 4s in the deck. It's so easy to get into. I would definitely play more level 6 synchros, I just haven't been able to get my hands on them. Into the Xyz, go with the rank 4s first. Number 32, Shark Drake. It's a nice little beat stick, and it allows multiple attacks and just allows you to whittle down your opponent's life points. It's a hefty cost at 3 level 4s. I find this is more of just a win more card. If you've got the lead, then you're keeping it. 1 thought on Pap the Operative. Back when I built this, a lot of my friends were just setting their cards in defense position. So this allowed me to flip them up, know what their cards were, reduce their attack, and then still be able to get over it for more damage. Utopia, negate effects, and actually I could probably put other Utopia support cards on this now. But as I say, it hasn't been updated for a while now. But negate attacks, it's decent enough. 2 level 4s, it's easy enough to summon. So be it. And the final one, which is actually a little surprise, is Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. It seems dumb, but if you've got 2 gods on board, sometimes it's not quite enough for game, because usually you've got to get like an Odin, and even if you go with Thor, you're going to get 2 separate Nordic gods. Odin being 4k, Thingy being 3-5. You could get Gaga Cowboy, but this is just basically a big ass bad Gaga Cowboy. It means no matter what combination of gods you've used, you always have access to this. And sometimes it's just, you don't have the tuners left in your graveyard because you've already brought them back. So it's like, if it goes to the grave, it's going to the grave and it's staying there. So you might as well just make lists and start burning them for 2,000 damage a turn. But that's it. Out of things I would change, as I say, I'd probably put some more level 6 synchros. I'd probably try and change out a few of the monsters and make it a bit more varied. Overall, as I say, I quite like the deck. It's fun to play. It's a little bit slow, and I am contemplating and attempting to split them up into 3 separate decks, 1 for Thor, 1 for Loki, and 1 for Odin. If I do that, obviously I'll bring the deck profiles, but at the minute I'm happy with the way the deck's playing, and yeah, so that's the deck profile. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys again. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and bye.